we found the Aura fans here. Right here, locked and loaded, baby. You guys.
Live here at the moment, you can barely hear us as everything's going on, but these fans are going rapid for horror. I think they're going to stay in top 5 here. What do you think?
Oh my goodness me, how excited are those players? The fans, even. Hopefully the players too, but the fans are going to inject that power into our players, hopefully, to be able to take to the last 2 maps on the menu for Group B. 2 rounds of Miramar left for our teams to make their bid for the top spots to try and escape that death zone at the bottom of the tables.
We do have to send home 3 teams today. We don't have any choice in the matter. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. See exactly who those teams are as we head through to match 6 at the end of this. But first of all, we're going to get through match number 5. 2, they're winning both. I'm not as... and I really do mean it. There's been some terrible circles, some terrible playing paths. It's all been horrid.
Some really nasty stuff coming through. Hopefully it's going to be a little bit kinder to some of our teams, but right now I think I'm seeing Alpha 7 and Horror both on this western road. Potential for hot drops there to come on through for 2 of our pretty importantly placed teams when it comes to those tables. So a contest for the vehicles. We'll have to wait and see if they do go for it, and they are dropping very close to one another, Blank. That is nasty out on the west side. Keeping an eye on hot drops. You've also got that Viademar situation. I think that's Etch and I believe Hustler Crew. No, hang on a minute. It's Yangon Galacticos. They are getting stuck straight in, and already Etch have managed to draw first blood against Saycloud.
Saycloud goes down. Yangon Galacticos struggling here, 9th place. But should have done enough. Still 2 more games though for having to change. Marnet tries to get a cheeky peek off here. Down to Smile, Romeo as well, still up here kicking.
Is that they know that Alpha 7 are going to have some weapons on side. So the step, last section of the crowd, Kalaris to try and seal the deal to finish the job that No Fear started. Door, and it will be flung open, smash in the face.
I am sorry, but they should not be falling for that. That is absolutely the freest bait Horror's ever had to go for in their entire lives. I'm pretty sure Raven was like, probably shouldn't peek. They'll have another angle. But again, it got the better of them. They should not have peeked that as a 2-man. They didn't have the angles. There's full broadside over on that wall. If another player has already set up early, which Horror had done, you have to expect these teams, as Revo there, they decide not to peek because they know that Horror's got an off angle available. And then all of a sudden, it all went wrong.
Yeah, it's not too good. But the good news is that they're going to win the game, right? Right, Revo? Right? Oh. Maybe not. Ugh. Much more difficult now. 2 players on the western road, but the circle is out on that west side as well, so a potential for them to get fairly deep into the match and maybe look to more solidify their position in towards this middle pack, which, yeah, I feel like it's already kind of been done with the 55 points that they've earned. The bubble currently sitting at around 30. It would need a 25-point gain from our bubble to surpass them, which would be pretty miraculous, I think, for all of the teams beneath them to be able to do that. But yeah, they would like to be a little bit better, a little bit higher on those tables if they can make it happen. But now they are just too far from 5th. We are going to be trimming the herd of teams looking to make it in. S2G and Nongshim Red Force just behind that bar.
There's a team that does love Miramar. It is S2G. Now, they have been fairly lucky before on it. Okay, we're going for the PM. Love to see it. Absolutely panned on. Oh, dear. A bit of revenge coming through for Horror. But yeah, for S2G, they do love this map. They've had some luck on it before. This time around, I don't think we can call this luck at all. They're sat in El Azahar. They have to move across. But if there's any time for the Turkish squad to do it, it is right now. To be able to send 2 Turkish squads through would be a very, very cool thing to see for the region. And they're not far off.
Okay, Romeo lying in wait, quiet as a mouse, but strikes like a viper as they step up the stairs, a little bit too bold for it, but still in danger. Romeo drops down, Smile goes down the stairs, out wide. Fajita can't quite connect on the shots, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade on the angle. Smile still with it, more to do, but he strafes across and can't quite get that spray transfer to connect. And it will be the end for Yangon Galacticos in the penultimate Miramar. Going down on 55 points though, Blank, they're very, very likely to be going to the survival stage here.
Yeah, this matters way more for Edge, honestly. Getting 4 elims there is great news. They also didn't lose a singular player. Everyone knows that you really don't want to be losing players too early here on Miramar. It does make a lot of your rotations much, much harder. Some of those holdouts a lot harder as these compounds can get quite large over on Miramar, but we are heading back over towards those crater fields. Some of those more open areas of the map. We have a lot of dead ground over towards that western side. We're cutting in over towards the mountaintops.
Vitality with a little bit of a road ahead of them, but they spent some time to take down the truck. They will be profiting from the loot inside. A really nice pickup for them. Obviously, the addition of those, a massive early game speed up on your looting phase. You do want to be getting on the road nice and quickly. Godlike, they're a little bit closer to the circle, the west point of Los Leones right now. Going for the ghost roll down the hill as he turns the engine on and finally hits the gas. Sends them forwards, careening towards the northern area, just north of Chumacera, to get on into this next circle. The center of it around Monte Nuevo is starting to get quite packed in now.
Yeah, the crossroads are going to be a pretty big feature in the future. I mean, E-Arena's already trying to set up early over towards that high ground, but Emre is set up there early on. Might have to dip and head towards the rest of the team at some point, though, because E-Arena might just flow through. For the time being, though, it's not a massively priority position, so Emre might just get the chance to sit up here for quite a while, play Lighthouse, and scout out these teams coming through on a full 360. Chumacera is probably the most all hills you're having to navigate through into Monte Nuevo. So we have 1, 2, 2, 3 around. Yeah, that's Nongshim, Edge as well as TT Project. And then head further towards Monte Nuevo on that south side. We've got GS, we have Hustler Crew, we've got Godlike, we've got half of Wolves, we've got Dopeness too. So this is a very, very packed area of the map for a lot of teams. Even Vitality's coming through from Los Leones now to cover that area.
Ooh, Etch lost a player there. We were talking about how important it was that they were able to get the 4 elims to try and jump up out of the bottom 3, but they tried to move someone scouting that northwest edge, and TT Project were able to clip that and send one to the point bank. And they are in direct contest for those spots as well. It's not where you want to be seeing your points going. If you have to go down, you'd prefer it not to be a team in contest for one of those qualification spots to the survival stage. Next circle displaying itself with a hard south shift. That area that you were talking about being so jam-packed now sits right in the middle of the whole circle.
Yeah, around Ladriera as well, so pretty awkward. There's a bit of high ground over towards the east and the western side. But Ladriera is kind of this dead valley, right? It's not central either, so going for some of those compounds that sit underneath the ridge side, not ideal at this stage of the game, but some teams might be forced into them just as stop-off points. Pretty much just hostels for them to work off the backup before they make their hike towards the center of the circle. But a hard one, definitely a very hard one, because we still have those foothills down towards the south side too. Vitality is just making their way over towards them now. Godlike playing around some of the compounds in Minas del Valle.
Oh no, Kamikaze calling for support there. Someone help me. Someone turn me back over, and there he goes, Hamzy, with the assistance, and Kamikaze able to get back on the road again for another journey forwards into An area close to the center of the circle, moving in from the east side. Godlike were able to get one of the high ground areas around Chumacera, but Vitality are now looking to try and share that from across the way. So our top two teams, in fact, right now, Blank, could potentially come into conflict over this area.
Yeah, we say top two teams. I mean, Godlike's done fantastic over the last 2 days. They really, really have. But right now, Vitality is just incomparable to any squad. I mean, 142 points. I think they are closing in on the century in terms of elims over 2 days, by the way, just to make that very clear, which is one. Very, very wild. Wolves coming against Ida. Emre did pull it off from that high ground on that north side. Arenas flowing through some very, very open ground, but still not a position that a lot of players want to be in. We're heading over towards gas stations right now, but that roadside, get a little further in towards the high ground, quite like Godlike's position down towards Chumacera. They're trying to center up on some of these lovely bits that they can get. Some great sightlines looking down towards teams, but is it likely to end up in Chumacera proper? I don't know at this stage of the game. It's very, very hard to tell.
Vitality trying to move on through, and they're taking the fight to Speed, who lobs a nade down in, but doesn't really connect on much. Razak is going to be forced away from the stair push by a Molotov to slow things down, allow Etch to marshal their response, to get into position to respond to this Vitality aggression. Trying to peek out the window, Speed has the confidence of his teammate up the hill to cover up this angle, allowing him to play on the windowsill. Tries to find the lineup down the alley, down the hallway there, but it's not going to connect, and instead it's turned around on him, and now Etch have to get off that high ground too.
It's just disgustingly fast. I mean, Federales is so quick on the uptake. The reaction speeds on this guy is insane. I mean, shown even yesterday with the inhuman flicks we were watching, kind of popularized from PEL region as well. So again, very, very cool stuff coming through from Federales. But overall, these guys are changing the game. They are changing the game. It is hard that you cannot be playing sloppy versus them, because they will punish every single mistake that you do make. Godlike again, slow roll. Love to see it. These guys are cheeky. They are very, very cheeky. S-Power getting a lot of information in through this.
Get some scouting done. Feathering the clutch. Trying to look as stylish as possible. Spend the minimum amount of effort to get the maximum reward. There's plenty of rewards available in-game right now. Blank, of course, with our Naruto partnership. You can check that out in the game. Make sure that you're jumping in whilst it's still all available during the event, and draw for the Naruto character set for the Fury AUG. It's looking pretty. It's got a lot of firepower.
Yeah, the Ninetales Fury AUG looks awesome. It really does. So does the Sage skin for Naruto.
Oh yeah.
Want to pick that one up?
Uh-oh.
Vitality do lose Razak. Federales underneath. Might need to start dropping some more smokes, but they're up against Godlike now. Didn't really let up too much. Godlike want to push on towards Federales though. Difficult player to go up against, but instantaneous response coming through from Axel. Razak was re-knocked instantly.
Now Vitality.
Salme will find Federales there.
Ooh.
Axel on a bare slim amount of HP. Razy just trusting in him.
Oh, what a close down there. The third party for the off angle for Godlike, and they are ending their first of 2 Miramars here on 90 points. It is not ideal, but they are still in second place for the time being. And the fact that the points go to Vitality, you're kind of okay with that, right? You just don't want them to go to anyone else. Vitality is just this bottomless pit of points that you can throw things away into and forget about them. They have, I believe, as you've just pointed out to me, crossed the century on elims alone. 101, taking the rest of the lobby to school.
Man, 101 eliminations over 2 days, and those 2 days are not yet finished. A 50 elim per day average is just crazy. It is unheard of. Elementrix moves in. Neos will take him out, though. TT Project certainly suffering towards the center. We're going to have next circle coming in soon. Montenuevo currently held by Ida right now. But it does head back down towards the southeast side. Pretty barren landscape there. A lot of rocky outcrops, a couple of defilades to play around with. Tiamba down in 14th. It's not a massive jump up they need, but so far Tiamba has been a little bit lackluster on the gunfights.
They do have a pretty good position in this circle, so hopefully they can get value for it. TT Project, though, in this fight, looking to try and trade blows with them at the moment. They're out of danger, but they are so close to it. They are on the precipice, so a win on the fight with Wolves would be great news to try and give them a little bit of runway in this circle. Around the corner now, drops a nade out. Lots of damage pouring on out from the end of that SK-12, and it is just too much for them. Maybe the nerves are getting to them, and he's charging down the stairs, looking for the last player. A final nail to slam into the lid of the coffin for TT Project. Give an opening for the teams behind them, but he turns tail up the stairs, and Neos lives on.
Neos does a great job. I mean, Batons really did come out swinging. Not quite finish it off there. Got the sound cue and kind of spooked him on both the pimples. On the nades, Nongshim Red Force moves up over towards Aura. South side of Monte Nuevo. Good shots, though. Very, very good shots coming out from both teams. XZY down, as is Sky. But Hyunbin taking a fair bit of damage from off angles, forced to drop a smoke here.
No fear, moving forwards already with that first knock. Hitting the deck, going for the crouch, rolling forwards, but does finally get shut down on his approach. It was so close to going pear-shaped there, but he kept his nerve. And now Horror with the one player alive, Nongshim Red Force. Looking to keep themselves under control. Tizzy wants the reses, but Sleepy's out in the blue zone. A fair distance away from this fight. No real chance to get these confirms, to get these flushes, and most likely to get his teammates back. Not to mention, Nongshim Red Force know exactly where this guy is.
Yeah, they're good to go. I mean, Sleepy's not making his way in anytime soon, so easy on the side of Nongshim Red Force. Should be able to pick him back up again, but it's a case of moving across this road. And in the meanwhile, Alpha 7 creeping up behind them. This is an aggressive play coming through from them. Carrillo leading that charge on side. So easy, will finish off No Fear. Where do both these teams go? Alpha 7 on the low ground. Tizzy with the Mini 14, that's dangerous.
Can't ignore it. Or do so at your peril. Ida with a nice central position to try and protect the area, but not only that, their 5th place bubble position in the direct qualification spots. They can leverage a lot of influence over this part of the zone on the western side. And Tiamba, as we highlighted earlier, on that east edge, looking to do the same and get out of 14th place and into the survival stages. One of the only PEL teams, well, the only PEL team with the chance to try and go there.
Excited to see it happen, but again, tough. Very, very tough right now. They still have a little ways to go. Shots raining round. The drums start again inside the arena as we hit the 17-minute mark here. The circle heads over towards the northeast side. S2G, once again, I mean, these boys, they're good at Miramar. And they're also good at qualifying last minute on Miramar too. They currently hold both sides. There's a bit of a greedy split they've got going on, but they also have a lot of vision. They've got a lot of range in this area. Yes, it is greedy, but until they start seeing teams trying to push over towards these points, understanding that the north side is most likely the clearest area of the map, depending on the playing path, they should be okay. Remember, they swung in from El Azahar. This was a long journey for them.
Long road indeed. Hustler Clue finding one from 721 GS. That south edge in the meantime, Vitality are behind them in the queue. They did lose Federalis earlier, obviously. 5 eliminations already, fine. You'll take that. That's pretty chill. And around that south edge, they'll try and roll through. Hustler Crew right now, probably one of the softest targets for them to try and take on the fight with, but Alpha 7, far from done. And I look for the spray down. Not quite connecting underneath there, but spots him trying to get away from the vehicle. It was going up in flames, and Carrillo secures another point for Alpha 7 to get them one step closer to safety. Hyunbin tries to go for the hop around the edge, but it's going to be shut down. This is the influence that I wanted to see Ida executing on this western side.
Ida's had a fairly safe game as well, so they should have decent utility, decent supplies on board. Raisy's got his something on. That's scary. And Vitality, they're looking to push straight over towards Hustler Crew's position. Kamikaze will find Tizzy too. Again, good stuff from S2G, maintaining control of the map on that northern side. Hustler Crew will find Razak. Axel goes down as well, but Razy's still kicking, still making those shots happen. Following the vehicle down, the sideline shots as well. He knows he has to finish up quick.
There is that off-angle potential, as you said there, Blank. Needs to hit the heel, though. The nades are going to start to roll on in, sidestep it, but he doesn't manage it. And it goes boom, and Vitality are out, eliminated with 6 elims, so it's still a really good game for them, and they are totally chill, they are totally fine. In the meantime, though, Hustler Crew fighting for their life. Vinny on a separate fight as Vitality rock up into the other side of his team. Drops a nade out the window, looks for the flush, looks for the knock, but it's not going to come through. NASA, the last stand for Etch on the bubble, opens the door, doesn't step through it though, and Vinny tries again, has still got ammo in the back. Will be able to shut it down. Etch now down on the bubble.
Goodness me, Etch, like you say, out 13th. Tiamba, I half expected them to have a lot more influence here. I think they just don't want to lose this compound. They like how they're playing off the back of it. Didn't want to even try and send a 2-2 split down there. They know they could probably deal with these teams as they come in later. Dopeness did make their way up from that south side. Vinny could not help with Vitality. He was having his own small battle on the other side of the map.
Dealing with his own demons. And now Vinny has the whole of Tiamba look at his way, as well as Dopeness out on the western side, but he's into the vehicle, trying to make his way through, and it's not going to go well. Milu picks that one up. Tiamba able to eliminate another team, but they have to leave their compound now. They can't commit to staying there any longer. The zone goes to the center.
I'm very curious to see how S2G plays this now, because they have 2 spots they can work with. They got the gas station on the northern side of the road. That's likely to come out a little bit sooner. But both areas are quite difficult to play from, actually, on this. I think they might wrap back down.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is good from Tiamba. I like that rollout. It's what I was thinking they needed to try to do to progress. And the fact that S2G didn't have a full hold on it, they read that nicely, and they do regroup, as you said.
Yeah, they're going to play the roadside. I think I was trying to consider which one you wanted to go on towards, because playing across the road is hard. So they do get an anchor center. This is really nice from S2G, actually. Kamikaze just has to live here. I think he has a fairly safe spot to do it, and I think that's a shack towards the center of the circle. So they can play off the back of this ridge side, but they need to support their anchor here in Kamikaze. That's where most of the gunfire needs to be going towards. They know that Tiamba's on their east, so they can keep an eye on that the entire time. But for Tiamba, this is an all-important game. Same goes for S2G, though, trying to get towards the finals.
Lufa does manage to get across somehow. The volley of fire not quite potent enough from Ida to take them down. The smokes are dropping as well, and they can get on the road. Hopping in, not going to go for the hill, not going to commit the time to it. Alpha 7 in the meantime, you do still need to step forward too. Getting suppressed by Ida all the while, and again, Dopeness somehow managed to slither around the sight lines that Ida are laying down.
Yeah, but they're slithering straight back into the blue here. This is not ideal. Southern Edge now, GS in front of them, vehicles burning. Barrel in play, will shred them as they try and come down the hill, and they're fully silhouetted again against the hillside. S2G might have angles. E-Arena playing it very, very safe over towards the northwest. They know that they're realistically just looking for more placements. Guizao will rock up though alongside with Carrillo, has the MG3. This is a big moment now for Alpha 7 as a 2-man.
Tony K with a nade in hand, could connect, could do devastating damage to Alpha 7 as Dopeness descends from the hilltops as well. Tiamba are chiming in on the off angle. Nobody is escaping the bloodshed here. 721 GS will go low, will go down onto just one player. Malik survives it. In the meantime, Alpha 7 were able to get a slice of that warehouse on the northwestern side. Both of them staying alive, and E-Arena will be drawn down to 2 players alive as well. With the placement points guaranteed for Tiamba, they will be out of the danger zone at the end of this game as well.
Great stuff for Tiamba, honestly. They're being really cautious about it though, right? They're trying not to get too aggressive onto these engagements, try and siphon points where they can. Sadly, it's not been a lot of points at all that they've been able to siphon off. Tiamba only with the 2 eliminations on this game, despite being involved in quite a lot of engagement so far. E-Arena had a tough time. By the time that Alpha 7 moved up, they needed to start laying down smokes on Joker as well as Schweppes' side to enable them to cross to help turn EK deal with Alpha 7. That initial nade had to be strong. Now for S2G, that anchor looks mighty good towards the center here in Kamikaze. He's kept things silent, and S2G, again, they play a very, very good Miramar here.
It's their chance to jump up in towards the top 5. The annoying thing for them is, though, Blank, E-Arena and Ida are both still alive. Ida with all 4, E-Arena on 2. They're hoping that Alpha 7 are going to win this fight on this northwestern side. Maybe not so directly, but I think it would be in their best interest if it did happen that way. Alpha 7 with their back to the zone, guarding out E-Arena as they launch a nade forwards to slow them down.
Good initial nade. Chips away at the damage. Schweppes has one of his own, sends it out, only a little bit of damage. He's going to commit to the second one. Joker doesn't take any damage from that whatsoever. Guizhou gets backed off. Molotovs go through, stopping Carrillo from peeking too far out here, or in fact retreating back. Guizhou, all up to him, will go down. Sadly in 6th place, but still a good attempt from Alpha 7 on the 2 men they had.
Did a lot of work against E-Arena, made it hard, but in the end it wasn't quite enough. Tiamba now moving forwards from the southeast side. S2G want to challenge, but a nice little roll down. The smokes are starting to bloom, a lot of invested utility here, but the chokehold from S2G is potent, and the spray down connects with Milo on the back line. Lost looking to lay it down too. The nade doesn't quite go the distance from QZ, and it does not connect, so Tiamba playing on his 3, still looking to push over the top of that bubble position on the bottom of the tables.
Ida sweeps over towards E-Arena as they try to make their way in here. But for Ida, it feels like a pretty easy cleanup should things start to go a little wrong here for S2G. I do like that S2G gave Kamikaze basically all the bells and whistles as he moved in towards there, almost 400 ammo. They wanted him to be on a swivel the entire time, 4 nades as well, just in case people rocked up on this shack towards him. Good shots from QZ to start things off over towards GS. Once again, another circle shift here. I do think that S2G has played this game very damn well. It's just a question how well they can deal with Ida in the near future, and can they manage Tiamba on this eastern side without having to invest too much into it.
It's a really difficult spot. QZ is burning there, down behind the tree. I think the healing is already coming through though, so will be okay for the time being. Hasn't come through yet. Maybe a little bit lacking on that front. As the nades continue to push forwards, Emre trying to make a break. You can see the smoke dropped out. 721 GS still a factor here on the north side for Tiamba. It is just about in nade. Just keeping them safe, but there's a follow-up. There is still more pouring on down. That looks good. It's on target. They dash away, duck back in. They are back and forth, and S2G have taken casualties. Emre with a big nade over towards S2G on the center point. In the shack, they lose 2.
Again, this is all about managing things, right? Is why I thought Ida would be a big problem in the near future. For Tiamba, an opportunity opens up here. S2G, they scatter to the wind. They look to try to bolster position alongside Wahamzi G now. But another nade goes in. Solke being very careful, looks to drop the smokes. These are long grenades to head on over, not quite reaching. Rita extremely low, but in his last moments will send a nade in. But the junkyard of vehicles making a nice safe position to play. Emre is down. Rita's gonna try and send some Molotovs over the top, make it uncomfortable, make it hot over there for S2G.
Tiamba are wasting so much time here, Blank. Sure, they find Lost on that off angle, and that is a great pickup for them, but it's taken them so long. They could have moved forwards, tried to dynamically take that position, sideswipe, and third-party S2G on the shack. They can do so now as it has unfolded for them, but I feel like they could have done it a little bit earlier. I want more dynamism from them, but they are still doing well here.
I mean, Tiamba, they still got to deal with GS, right? And pushing down there almost might have been a death sentence for them. They only got a few grenades left. Still nade sending out over towards Rita right now. He might be able to hit the God nade through the window, potentially. He will send it. Lands on top. But yeah, GS is a big problem. I don't think Tiamba had a lot of nades though. They didn't even have a lot of ammo either. They've been playing this game quiet. But the amount of side steps they've done on these nades has been quite miraculous. We've seen some acrobatics coming through from Tiamba so far. Rita moves up. Nade should do the trick though.
Takes him down. Another team scratched off the card. S2G with a chance to jump up into top 5 off of this game as well. Blank with a chicken dinner. QZ spotted, and 721 GS are making themselves such a nuisance on the flank. Eagle finally able to do one, find the other as well. Potential for the res, but there's not a lot of time. The zone is already closing. I don't think you can commit to this one. It may just be a raw 2v2, and you know where both of them are. They're both inside. How do you navigate this? Eagle sending in.
Moving towards the tree side here. S2G getting ready for the double peek off the back of it. Nade over the top now, coming through from A-King. He moves up. That might do the trick. Bounces into the window. It's a lovely burst on it. Hamzy G last left alive. This nade has to be immaculate coming through from S2G.
A chance. A-King on the back of the tree. Gets pushed out wide. And there's the pick. Hamzy now in a 1 versus 1 for S2G to jump up to the top 5. A direct qualification spot is up for grabs. Tiamba looking to solidify themselves into the survival stage. It is a high-stakes 1v1 Blank.
Eagle playing off a tiny little bit of a ridge side here. Gets a little bit of open ground. He's going for the res, baiting Eagle in. Hamzy G has a tiny angle to work with. He's looking for the flush, looking for the finish. Eagle moves up to the plate with a DPS. The blue pushes Hamzy G now, John.
He has to leave, he has to step out wide, but he can't do it. S2G fall at the final hurdle, and Tiamba take them to the cleaners.
Tiamba, a much-needed win right in the last moments here of Group E. Fantastic stuff for them. A tough win, barely anything to work with. I think you were on the money though. There were some moments where Tiamba was a little bit slow, but you could understand their hesitation. Throughout the entirety of these 2 days, they have been on the back foot, but it must feel very, very good right now to finally get a win underneath their belt. For S2G though, we expected this, right? We called it early on. S2G is a team that does well on these type of maps, but missing out on those points from the eliminations and the extra 4 for the chicken dinner, that might hurt them from getting into top 5 because it's very flexible between the top 7 at the moment.
Yeah, it was very, very close towards the top side of the tables. There were teams that had gone down earlier that ended up on 90 points. I think at some point S2G were 11 points behind a little bit earlier on with the ELEONS that they've earned. They are going to be right in and amongst it, Blank. It is going to be a crucial final map moving forwards. Tiamba, I think with that match though, have accelerated themselves far enough away from that bubble to not be worried moving into this final Miramar.
Yeah, will require some miracles to change things up, but for Tiamba, that is a much needed win at the very best time for it to happen. So again, I think there's probably people around the world that are very pleased with that result. Fans of Tiamba, super relieved maybe, more than happy. But yeah, for S2G, missing out on the chicken dinner there is tough. It's definitely tough. I think that was a good opportunity. But they played that game well. I think they played that game very, very well. There was a lot to manage there. EDA is a tough team to go up against. We know that this squad is a never say never type